Pirates of the Mesozoic, starring Crick Smith, Donald Von Griffin, Karen Torres, Glenn Montgomery. Leslie is unavailable. Getting all tongue-tied today. Leslie's unavailable due to internet difficulties, but should be back in the near future. I'm the GM, Brandon Blackmore. Tonight's game brought to you by Trader Joe's Coastal Cabernet Sauvignon. The best wine $6 can buy. So,
I don't know. Have you been to the Lidl lately?
I don't want to fight you about this, Donald.
I'm just saying, I got a really drinkable bottle of $2.59 Merlot.
I think my cutoff is $3. If it's less than $3, the only wines. Wait, everything just went black.
Okay.
Did I go black for you, or did you just go black?
No,
Okay.
Your screen just turned.
You use a wine that costs less than $3 for us to make spaghetti sauce with.
Let's put it this way: it's less than $3, and Kieran will drink it with dinner.
I'm skeptical, but I'm willing to be convinced.
I picked up a dozen bottles last month, and they're half gone already. Yeah, I assure you.
The last time I got $2 wine, it had the picture of a locomotive. What's that, Lloyd?
What he's not telling us is he picked them up out of the trunk of somebody's car.
It fell off the back of a truck. And
y'all disbelievers, you're just missing out on all the good cheap wine. That makes more for
me. The last time I drank a $2 bottle of wine, it had a picture of a locomotive on it, and it was not fit to clean a shower. It was just that bad.
I'm sure, but somehow Lidl has managed to pull this off.
All right.
They must buy it by the.
So
I don't know, by the train.
Somebody missed last week? Was it Lloyd?
No, I think
you were here.
I ended up sneaking up on the Hag of Crag Keep and pointedly not bashing her head into the brick.
Mm-hmm. You easily could have. She's just a normal person. Well, as normal as any of you are.
Yeah.
She's as normal as any of you are. Okay, so she's apparently more or less human. And she spends her day just doing stuff that, Anyway. Right. So you were heading back to... Man, I have not done the recording for last week yet, so I'm not... why don't you remind me what happened last week?
Well, we finished getting the Eye of Odin, delivered it to the Hag.
Right.
After stopping off in Tranquility.
Yeah, you left Ty, your assistant, in Tranquility. Oh, but then you went back, and it had been a while. You've been back to Tranquility since you dropped off Ty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, twice now.
Okay.
We dropped off Ty, then went and got the Eye of Odin. Or no, once now, because we dropped off Ty, and then we went and got the Eye of Odin.
Right.
Came back from the Eye of Odin. And
delivered it.
Dropped off a bunch of stuff we'd salvaged. Changed out our gear. Checked on things. And then headed out to deliver the Eye of Odin to the Hag.
Right.
Where we actually had a reasonably pleasant dinner, all things considered.
That's right. She doesn't have company very often.
I started harmonizing to hold me now with her, and apparently that was the snapping point, and she tossed us out. But
and she has expounded on her theory of how people versus bit players, characters versus bit players.
Yeah.
People versus characters.
Characters, okay. Which is interesting. Have we seen any children?
No. Well, Ty's the youngest person you've seen, actually, and she was like 12.
She's also probably started puberty, though, so she's not necessarily, like, in that definition, still a child.
Potato, man. The youngest person you've met so far has been Ty. You've seen no babies.
Yeah, here's the thing. If
Interesting.
we're gone for a year and a half again, and Ty is still 12, the hag's got him.
But have you gotten any older?
Every
Hard to
day.
say.
Yeah, how do you know exactly? It's not like you can count the rings.
Cut them in half and count the rings, you cur. All right. Well, in any case.
Wait, no. My answer to that: every day I gotta work this job. Every single day.
Oh, men, actually women too, because it's in different places, but it still happens. Your hair grows. If you don't shave, you grow a beard. If you don't shave your legs are hairy. So, in that sense, your body experiences the passing of time. Do you get older? Hard to say. At the age you guys are at as an adult, it would take like a decade before you really noticed whether or not you were getting older, any older or not. But at the very least, you are not static. Your hair grows. Your fingernails grow. So there's that.
We could ask the time vampires at that inn. They might know.
They might. I'm not sure their answer would make much sense to you, but they'd probably know.
True.
Well,
All right, so you were on your way. What, Lloyd?
The orcs ran out of electricity.
That's
So
true.
They physically appear to be getting older.
Batteries died. That is true. So entropy as a phenomenon does exist.
Mm-hmm.
And you know from Tranquility, the building's aged. The
Right.
paint faded over time. Things aged.
And
So.
bit players all have their own ideas, they're in their own lives, and they're like going on dates and
They're just apparently not fertile.
apparently not having children.
You haven't seen any.
Right. Okay. When
Well,
we get
back to Tranquility, I can check with the doctor and see what he says. I mean, I've got some medical knowledge myself, so maybe we can inspect a couple of people and find out what's going on.
I was figuring ask them either the mayor or Sam about the census.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this town this small, they're going to know if somebody has a kid. It'll be an event.
Right. And if, every time 3 people got lost to dinosaurs, 3 more people wandered out of the forest.
We could also ask what happened. Were there children originally when the town first appeared? I imagine there would have been.
These are all things you can ask. All right, so you were on your way back to Tranquility from from Crag Keep.
Yeah.
And you got to the area eventually where there were dinosaurs, and a great big Tyrannosaurus attacked you. And one of the things about the great big dinosaurs is that you don't so much defeat them as you do drive them away.
Yes.
Like convince them that this food is too much trouble.
Right.
And eventually they just leave. You haven't any of the big dinosaurs. You haven't actually killed any of them. It's just you just keep attacking them until they're like fuck this noise and they leave. So, however, on this particular occasion, you're fighting a great big Tyrannosaurus, and it's attacking you. It's attacking the hover barge. It bites a big chunk out of the hover barge and damages it, and it seems more intent on eating you guys than usual. Perhaps it's hungry. Then, a guy in a loincloth with a beard and a spear leaps out of the jungle, or out of the grass, rather, and goes, and the Tyrannosaurus bites down on him, and the back of its head blows out, and it hits the ground. And you see sticking out of its mouth the guy's legs like this.
Yeah, no, I suppose I should. Yeah, I'll spin the hover bar jaw and step out and pry the jaw open so that he can get out. Need a hand there, friend?
He does indeed need a hand. Let's see what we got going on. Looking for a bearded jungle man. Harder to find than I would have thought.
Look up Terry Pratchett, Cohen the Barbarian.
Cohen the Barbarian.
Cohen.
Oh, son of a bitch. He's a bit older than I was thinking, but that's funny.
Good call, boys.
He's older than I'm looking for, but that's close.
The Silver Horde, yes.
I'll add bearded. Bearded jungle man. Bearded jungle man. Lots of flannel in these pictures. How curious that. Come on, man. All right. Well, you're just going to have to use your imaginations. So, you got a guy. He looks vaguely like Tarzan. He's ripped, but he's not bodybuilder ripped. He's more like, I don't have any fat in my diet ripped. So, he's probably 180 pounds. It's all muscle, and you can see all of it. And he's got like a loincloth that is beaded. You know, like Native American bead crafts?
Yeah.
Like fabric that has lots of beads on it? That kind of thing. So his loincloth is ornamented with lots of beads, different colors. Some clearly actual gold, which is really orange. Actual real gold has a very orange color to it. You very rarely see, when you see gold as a color, it's always very yellow. Real gold, it's almost orange. It's so expensive, you don't see real gold very often. Anyway, and he's got a spear, and when you pry him out of the Tyrannosaurus Rex's mouth, he's got a beard like down to here. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Midway down his chest. And his hair is kind of shaggy. And he climbs out of the Tyrannosaurus. He's all like, got Tyrannosaurus spit all over him. And he's like, thank you. Thanks. That was a tough one. Everybody okay? You guys okay?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, minor repairs.
Yeah, we were just coming back this way. And he gestures over, and there's a saber-toothed tiger over on the side, which kind of like comes up not between him and you guys, like kind of like triangular, and it clearly does not trust you and is ready to eat you if you make a move.
Okay.
So he's speaking English?
Oh yeah. It sounds like he's got like a Boston accent, which I'm terrible at doing, but just imagine Boston accent. Yeah.
Huh.
So we were just heading back to our camp and saw you guys in trouble, thought you might need a hand. So
We did. Thank you.
that's a big one. He pokes at it with the spear.
You need a ride?
Everybody make perception rolls. Perception, reason.
Next.
Woo! Snake eyes. I mean, not snake eyes.
If nobody makes it, just actually, rather than, I'm not even going to roll. Who rolls highest? Because somebody's going to notice. It's just a question of who.
15.
Jeez. Yeah.
I rolled boxcars.
You know this guy.
Really?
You kicked him out of town.
Oh! What was his name again?
Edgelord?
Hero?
Cyril Frank.
Oh.
Okay, rest of you don't recognize him yet, because he looks very different from last time you saw him.
Yeah.
He's got like a good 2 years worth of beard, and anyway, but Dr. Anna recognizes him. Sorry, well, Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a ride. That'd be nice. Thanks.
Where are you heading, Cyril?
Do I know you?
Uh,
Wait, let's see. Wait, I do need to roll, see if he recognizes you. Because you guys haven't changed. But for him, it's been a while. He does not recognize you at all. Not yet, anyway. He's like, do I know you?
ooh, possibly.
Huh. All right.
Little town, western town.
Yeah.
The cowboy town. At which point, he will recognize you. You're the ones who kicked me out of that cowboy town. Oh, wow. Hey. Wow. You know, I was hoping I'd run into you guys again someday. You looked exactly the same.
I whistle up a gin and tonic for him.
It's only been like, what, a couple of months for us. How long has it been for you?
Time is really weird around here. Time happens differently for different people depending on where they're located.
It's been, I don't know. It feels like it's been forever. Maybe a couple of years?
It looks like it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's only been a handful of months for us. A couple of months.
You know,
max.
I've been wondering what I would do if I ever ran into you guys again. And I know what I'm going to do.
Drink?
No, I'm
Okay, well,
going to
let us
say
know.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
No,
All right.
I was a real prick in that town. I don't have really any excuse other than I thought I was doing the right thing. Now, I mean, not just the right thing, but like the right thing, you know? But I'm not even sure I know what the right thing is anymore, and if I did, I'm pretty sure I wasn't doing it. So
Yeah, you always got to be careful when you start capitalizing words in your brain.
Yeah. But
yeah, that's
new power does weird stuff with your head, so
yeah.
we get it.
Anyway, I'm sorry about all that. Thank you for not killing me. I know you guys were thinking about it back then.
Oh, I was just wondering how it could be done. I've got a whole list of possibilities, but we won't get into that. Please have a gin and tonic, and everything's even.
He like sniffs it, drinks a little bit.
Candy's finest.
Wow, I haven't had alcohol in since that town.
So which way are you headed?
Well, that way. He gestures toward the jungle. Hup.
Nope.
And he like pats his thigh, and the saber-toothed tiger comes over to him, and he like ruffles its head. He's like, yeah, if we can get a ride, that'd be great. It cut like half a day off our trip at least.
Yeah, climb on.
All right, well, hang on, I have to go get my catch. And he goes out into the grass, and he drags back a horse-sized chunk of dinosaur meat. It's like a dinosaur leg. It's like an enormous dinosaur drumstick, and he's like dragging it along, and heaves it up onto the barge.
It tastes like chicken.
I was gonna say that's not a bad idea. Probably ought to grab one of those to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would have helped dress the animal because
You're gonna need to change that.
Oh,
I could probably char it up if you
Oh
want.
no, I don't. I got a sword, and I know how to skin stuff. It doesn't take that
Dr.
long.
Anna does not need help.
I don't have any. There's no bones left or anything unless I want it for like. I just grab meat. Takes up less room and weight.
Cool. You just toss the bones overboard as you guys cruise along. You eventually hit like a creek with it. Was what he will direct Donald, I guess, Captain Harrows, I guess, toward the edge of the jungle and then to a creek, which then goes into the jungle.
I also tell him that Tandy finally came up with something that is not entirely unlike rum.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who's Tandy? Which one was that?
The bartender.
Oh, the other bar.
The other bar, yeah.
Oh,
Also the brewer, distiller.
no, I kind of remember who you're talking about. Dark hair?
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, rum. Wouldn't mind rum. Yeah. Huh. So I guess you guys are doing fine. You have like a whole hovercrafty sort of thing going on.
Well, we've been pretty lucky. The hag
I
hadn't
was
made
not
things
so lucky.
Yeah, the hag hadn't made things easy on us, but it's been interesting.
Met a bunch of different groups of people. Have you met any other civilizations?
Do you really want to know?
I'm just curious.
Because if I tell you, you're gonna think I'm gonna have hard feelings toward you guys, and I really don't. I want you to know that I really don't. I'm over that, and I know that I brought a lot of it, or all of it, on myself.
Hey, Brandon. Well, I'm just gonna be watching his body language to see just how sincere he seems. Not really saying much. And it doesn't have to be right now, but over time, see how he is.
I tell you what, I have you make 3 rolls, and as the conversation progresses, and then at the end of the conversation, I'll tell you what you can conclude based on your rolls. So, diplomacy, I think. A diplomacy presence roll. Tell me what you get. I'll make notes.
13.
No, just one for now. I'll tell you to make a second one later.
13.
All right. You're not picking any hostility at the moment, at the very least. So he's like, all right, well, and this is as you're cruising down the river, because you've got a few miles to go. He did say this. It would take him like a half a day to get where he's going, so we're talking several miles down the road. So
Yeah. And I'm entirely willing to do the let bygones be bygones. Like, we never really disliked you. You were just treating people unfairly. And now that you've seen this, we've got no beef.
Okay. Well,
Just,
when I left...
Just put that to bed. No problem.
Yeah, okay.
We're friends now. Yes?
We'll see.
No.
When you guys kicked me out of that town, I was really, really mad, and I had every intention of finding some way to come back and get revenge on you. That was all I was thinking about. Fought some dinosaurs. They couldn't kill me, right? So I had food to eat. I was all alone. Eventually, I got captured by these, what the people in the cowboy town called Mexican Indians. They're Aztecs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've already met them.
Yeah. Well, I got captured by a group of them. And they, I can push back when somebody tries to hurt me, but it's not a whole lot I can do about a net. So they got me in a net and dragged me back to their city, which is huge, by the way.
Haven't been there yet.
No, it's a full-on city. It's huge. So I'm in a stone room in the bottom of some big pyramid, and that goes on for like, I don't know, a week. And then they take me up one morning to the top of this pyramid, and a guy tries to stab my heart out. And I do my thing, and his chest busts open, and he falls over dead. I'm tied down, right? So it's not like I can do much else. But so I got this dead guy on top of me, and you can imagine they all freaked out, right? Took me back down to the cage, the prison in the pyramid. Next morning, tried it again. And same thing happened again. I did it again. On the third day, they
didn't-
figured
you didn't-
out what was going on.
I was going to say, you didn't warn them?
Well, they couldn't understand me. I couldn't understand them. So, but third day they figured out what was going on. On the third day, the guy that had stabbed me was the guy who was in the cell next to mine. So, from that point on, every morning, they took me to the top of a pyramid, and somebody else who was a prisoner tried to stab me in the heart, and I killed him every day for like a year and a half.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm getting this across to you, what that's like. That was horrible. That was like really genuinely horrible. And after about a year of that, I seriously thought about letting them just kill me, because that was awful.
I believe it.
Then, Mokta, who's one of them who brought me food and water and things, one evening she comes and she lets me out and we escape. By this time I'd learned some of their language, and yeah, so it's been, I don't know, 6 months or so since then, and it's a pretty decent life now. You know, we hang out, we hunt, I bring back food, Mokta cooks it. I've got Tiger, and he pats the saber-toothed tiger on the head. Apparently its name is Tiger.
Sorry, guys, internet crashed.
Oops, what'd you miss?
Edgelord was talking about about rum.
Oh, wow, you missed a lot.
Yeah.
Briefly,
Yeah.
I'll summarize for you. Briefly, he got captured by the Aztecs, sacrificed or attempted to be sacrificed for a couple of mornings, and that didn't work because the person who was sacrificing him, he made their chest bust open instead of stabbing him. By the third day, the Aztec figured out what was going on and had another of the sacrifices be the one who was trying to stab him in the chest. So he basically went a year and a half murdering someone every single morning. Until the horror of that was getting so much he was thinking about just letting them kill him because it was awful. And, oh, Craig, make another presence diplomacy roll. And I shall record it.
10.
Okay, that's not great, but I'll give you this for free. He is genuinely haunted by that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he talks about it, you can see in his eyes, he's got a little bit of PTSD over that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one of the people who brought him his food, Mokta, he has referred to this person as Mokta, one evening came, let him out, and they escaped. By that time, he had learned some of their language enough to understand that she realized that what was happening to him was bad, and she didn't want to be a part of it. But she knew if she let him go, they would just sacrifice her the next day. So she had to leave with him. So those two left the Mexican city of Chicamastoc, or the Aztec city of Chicamastoc, about 6 months ago. And now they live in the jungle, doing the whole Tarzan Jane thing. Although it's more like Tarzan and killer priestess thing. So, anyway. And, yeah, that's his story.
All right.
So, how things with you?
Well, I had half the town poisoned by a crazy witch who tried to cut off our water supply, and of course, some of those fellows who had tied you up tried to steal a bunch of the townsfolk one time. And was it this much work when you were in charge? When you were defending the town?
I don't know.
I mean, when you left, you said that we'd be sorry because of all that you did for this town. I'm seeing what you meant. This is actual, it takes some effort. Heck, when Bob ate all those death flowers and we had to destroy the temple of the lizard people.
Oh, lizard people. Yeah, I ran into
Just
them.
one thing after another.
And,
That-
and the ant guys.
Hmm?
And the ant guys.
Oh, the ant guys. Yeah, I forgot about the ant guys. Not to mention the ice wizard.
Yeah, I haven't run into him. Did run into the lizard people though.
Yeah, he was using the lizard people to harvest his death flowers to enslave all humanity. So he's probably
Well, that's
still
different.
working on it. Yeah, he's probably still working on it, just not with them anymore, I imagine. Well, not after what happened, but anyway, no need to dwell on the past.
Okay. Well, eventually you get to his camp, which looks, like a tree house, like a couple of tree houses, like little rope bridges between them. That's what it looks like. And you pull the hover barge up onto land, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he jumps down. At which point, this woman jumps out of a tree. Wait, let me make sure I give you a good one. I'm not sure I want that one. Oh, that's a good one. This woman jumps out of a tree with what looks like a cricket bat, but the edges of the cricket bat all have dinosaur teeth embedded in them.
Cool.
Wow.
She jumps between Cyril and you and shouts at you in a very assertive Aztec language. You're not sure what she's actually saying, but her meaning is quite clear. Stand back or I will fuck you up.
Well, we've already met the Aztecs. That was one of our first-
I respond in her own
Oh.
language.
All right, Dr. Anna and Captain Harrows, at the very least, understand what she's saying, which is essentially, stay back or I'll fuck you up.
Back or I will fuck you up.
Or
Yeah.
you will meet your gods, is actually the way she phrases it.
Yeah. No need for all of that. We come in peace.
It was just giving your man a lift.
She looks at Cyril because she doesn't have a clue what you're saying. And
Well, I said it in
he
this-
says to her, yeah, their raft is how I got here so quickly. We have meat up on it, and he gestures at Dr. Anna, and she says, and this warrior helped prepare the meat for travel. She looks at you skeptically. Okay.
I just to say it was her. Just call him her man.
The misunderstanding is avoided, and you pull the meat off and start cooking some of it, or rather, Mokta starts cooking some of it. Well, you guys are welcome to hang out for a bit and eat. I got plenty of food for now. You seem like you're on your way somewhere.
I check our distance from the water.
The sea?
Yeah, no, I'm using my navigation skills and I'm checking. Are we within the 50-mile range where time dilation is negligible?
Yeah, just on the edge of it. But yeah.
And in that
if you get out into the plain and go full speed, you can get to Tranquility in about an hour. Generally speaking, you don't crank it up quite that fast because things have a tendency to appear suddenly.
Yes. Like entire biomes.
Yeah, but this close to the sea, that is less common than it is further away. So
yeah, okay.
So that's about how far you wait.
Before I accepted an offer to stay for a while, I wanted to make sure that a while wouldn't be
a month,
a long while.
Yeah.
We come back and Ty is 21 years old and you got to revert to the original picture. You know, I just
You do a couple of mental calculations, and you're like, yeah, no, we should be fine.
okay. Yeah, in that case, well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Anything we can do to help out, let me know.
Actually, we've got a pretty good life. I didn't think I'd adapt this well to not have an internet. But, something you guys need to know. Oh, I should have told you this sooner. Hey, if you go back and find where I was staying, there's a house right near the wall of that town.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find my tablet there. There's a guy who...
Black Spider?
Yeah, what? Yeah. Oh, you found it?
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah,
not
watch
quite
out for this guy, because he's
not quite a guy.
okay.
He's a black spider.
What, you mean like an actual black spider?
Yeah, except
Like an actual spider?
he used to be a guy back in the 80s.
The 1980s?
The 1980s, yes.
Apparently, when he and his friend showed up here, they morphed into animal forms.
Well, that's weird.
One of them's a giant vulture. Yeah, none of them are pleasant to look on.
Huh.
Nor are they pleasant to deal with.
Wow. All right, then I guess you
I don't
already
know.
know I don't need to warn you. Have you already like fought these guys or something? Because
Or something.
now
Or
something.
I'll admit I was trying to do the right thing, but what I was doing was wrong, and I own that. Okay, but this black spider guy, he was messed up. So
Oh, yeah. Wait till you meet his mistress. Or should I say manager?
Yeah, I think manager sounds more appropriate. At least that's how she sees it.
Well, assistant manager, most likely.
Assistant to the manager?
that's a deep cut. All right. Oh, okay. I guess I don't need to warn you about that after all. You already figured it out.
But we
Good.
appreciate
I'm
it.
glad. I'm glad because that was something that I wasn't sure how to deal with at the time.
Yeah, you see, the hag, Black Spider's boss.
I didn't know he had a boss.
Yeah, he's not working alone. There's at least 4 of them that I know of.
Oh wow.
If you include Sharon.
Oh,
Sharon.
Who's Sharon?
She's the giant bat.
Yeah, she's the giant bat, not too bright.
Okay.
Um,
Huh. You know. Oh, hey. He hands back the empty glass that the gin and tonic was in.
Mhm.
I got something for you. Hang on. He goes back into one of the huts in the treehouse. He climbs up into the treehouse into a hut. You guys are down on the ground, which is where the fire pit is, because not very practical to have a fire pit in a treehouse. So,
No.
but he climbs up into one of the huts and comes back with a skin and pours it into. They're not coconuts. They're pieces of wood yay big that have been carved into cups, essentially.
Okay.
And he pours out like a milky white liquid, and he hands it to you. He says, "There's no alcohol in it, but it will get you messed up." Cheers. Clink. Sip it, because otherwise you'll throw up.
I've been to enough foreign ports of call. I take a sip and wait.
It tastes kind of like Pine Sol. Actually, it tastes kind of like gin. Like if you mix gin with almond milk, it's kind of what it tastes like. And
Okay, cyanide. Okay, no problem. As long as I don't take another sip, I'm fine.
yeah, the cup he gave you is like this big, and he only poured like an inch of it in the bottom of that cup. And he told you to sip that. So
Yeah.
like 10 minutes later, you start feeling kind of loopy. It's not alcohol, but it is a drug.
Okay.
Anyway. Mokta gets them too.
Hmm.
And she says, skull! Which is apparently one of the few English, more or less, words she knows.
Norwegian, anyway.
Anyway, we can fast forward a bit. We don't need to spend the next 2 hours role-playing. Oh! Craig.
So for the
One last
okay.
diplomacy presence roll.
Okay. Well.
Oh, all right, cool beans. You got 2 out of 3, so I'll give you this. He is not angry at any of you. He does genuinely feel remorse at what went down and feels guilty about it. And he's genuinely horrified by what was going on and feels guilty about what was going on in Chickamauga, because he literally murdered like 500 people in Chickamauga, and that he feels genuine guilt and remorse about that, and it haunts him even now. So, and yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
So
You
hey,
don't sense
Cyril,
any hostility.
Yep. So hey, Cyril, I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you feel some remorse over what happened. Maybe you're a changed person now.
I get the feeling like you're leading up to something.
He says that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that a question, or are you just making an observation?
That's an observation. Is it correct?
Yeah, I guess.
I recommend you make amends at the town. You affected them deeply as well.
No, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, chat. You know who I'm talking about?
What? I missed something. What?
Jack, the fellow from Tranquility. First fellow you sent around to hassle us when we moved in.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the gunslingers.
Yeah, he is. He's taken over. Michael's taught him the art of smithing, and he's taken over the shop and is doing all the repairs around town, doing real
No
well.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I always thought he was a bit dim.
He is, but he learned to understand metal. And sometimes that's all you need to make good things.
Man, that's great to hear. I like that. Thank you for telling me that. How about the rest of them? My old crew.
I'll run through a few of the ones that I know of.
Well, you know, 2 did not adapt well to your coming and eventually got executed in Wangquo.
Yeah. I tell them about the 2 who decided to steal from the Chinese wizard.
Oh, actually, they didn't get executed in Guangquo. 1 did. The other one, Dr. Anna pinned to a tree with about 5 arrows.
Yeah, I don't think we need to mention that one.
Let's not mention that. They got executed by the Chinese.
There were several that joined the militia from the Roman guy, whatever his name was.
Yeah, Marcus is.
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus. They joined the militia, so may help them get some discipline and turn them around.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. That's good. Yeah. If you do me a favor, don't tell them you found me, because I don't want them remembering me like I was. You know.
That's fair. However, there may come a time when we may need your help, and I'm going to make a diplomacy roll, and I'm going to spend my plot point on this.
Get a bonus die. What are you trying to accomplish with your diplomacy roll?
Tell him that we may need his help in the future, and he basically needs to come help us.
And, can I do one thing first? Because what you did.
It's part of the conversation, so go ahead.
Well, put it. Wait. Craig,
Okay.
just pause what you're doing. What is it you want to say, Donald?
I was about to hand him a radio.
Why don't you wait until after Craig does his thing, and I think that'll be more effective.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Craig, do your thing.
15.
You needed a 14.
What?
So what is it you say to him?
There may come a time when we may need your help. There's some big things afoot. We may need another hand with abilities beyond human.
He's clearly conflicted about that because he now associates his power with murdering innocent people.
Yep.
So he's clearly conflicted about that.
Yeah.
But he'll like think about it for a second. It's like, yeah, okay. I owe you guys at least that much. If you need me, I'll help. At which point, Captain Harrows has radio.
Has a radio for him.
Wow.
So here, if you ever need our help.
What, really? If I need help, you'd come?
Sure, why not?
Well, hard to say how long it would take us, depending on what region we're in. But if it is within our power, of course.
He just starts crying. That's Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you got me. You need me, you got me. I'll help you out. Anything I can do.
Is there anything you need that we've got right now that we could pass on to you?
No, actually, we have all we need, man.
Great.
We got somewhere to live. We got food. We got each other. Got a cat.
Cat is awesome.
Well, adopting a cat's always a big step in a relationship. And I'll say that with perfectly straight face.
Yeah. Well, once he figured out he couldn't kill me, he came around. Most times something tries to eat me, and it dies, right? So, but he bit and then backed off, and then bit again and then backed off, and then we kind of came to understanding, And plus I give him food, and apparently that goes a long way.
You could trade anything with food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If it eats, it can be trained.
Yes.
Oh, hey, the trails are kicking in. Good stuff, man. No, Mokta knows how to make this. It comes out of like a flower. She crushes up the stalk of it, not the flower itself, but the stalk of it.
A red flower?
No, it's white. It looks kind of like a daisy.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If you want some, take back with you. I could probably give you some. We grow a little garden back here. We grow a thing that looks kind of like halfway between a carrot and a potato, and that's make stew out of that. And we have a couple of like leafy things, kind of somewhere between a lettuce and a spinach, and then the stuff that this is made out of, and a couple other things too. Mokta knows how to grow anything.
I don't want to upset you unduly, but you appear to have a mountain lion sitting on your channel.
Yep.
Anyway, you hang out with Cyril and Mokta for a while. Mokta is not entirely sure whether to trust you. Her cricket bat of dinosaur teeth is always within reach, and she's keeping an eye on you.
I warn him. I describe the death flower to him and warn him that its pollen can sap your will.
Oh wow! All right, thanks. And lizard people were growing that?
Yes.
Because he's run into lizard people before. They come around from time to time. They'll run into each other when he's out hunting.
Yeah, the ones who had taken the train.
Those were lizard people. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not seen a train. The highest tech thing he's personally seen is a Mexican pyramid. So that's the extent of what he's seen technology-wise.
He hadn't seen the lizard people using the train, which is a whole nother level of weird, let me tell you.
All right. Anyway, you cook some dinosaur drumstick, and he also has like a stew that's basically like beef stew, without the beef in it, it's like chunks of various prehistoric vegetables and in a broth. And he'll feed you guys if you want to eat. It's not bad. It's a little bland, but it's not bad. And yeah, so a couple hours passes without incident. Nobody attacks you.
Okay. And at the end, we'll pack up and go home and wish them well, and all that good stuff.
Hey, what? One more thing before you go. Like I'm serious. Don't tell the people in that town you saw me, okay? Because if they've forgotten me, that's better. But that newspaper guy, the guy with the gray mustache, Sam, yeah. If you see him, him in particular, tell him I'm sorry. Because he got the brunt of my crusade back then, and he deserves an apology. And I don't know if he'll accept it or not, but tell him that I'm sorry.
And I'll ask him not to mention it to anyone else.
He's good enough to
You don't want to be remembered as the man you were. You want to be remembered as the man you are.
Sure. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Hey, you guys have a safe trip, all right?
All right. Thank you.
And you head out back down the river until you get to the plains again, at which point you can crank up the speed and get back to Tranquility within a couple of hours. And there's no like big fight or wandering monster until you get there.
Okay.
Hooray, you're at Tranquility. Yay! They're happy to see you. You're back!
Come back with a big slab of dinosaur meat.
I probably would have insisted on leaving it if they felt they could consume it all.
And some more botanical samples for Michael to start growing on.
Oh yeah, he before you left, Edgelord would have gotten a couple of bulbs. They're bulbs. The plants that they make the white liquid out of.
Okay.
Bulbs. He gets you 3 of those, and wraps them up in like a sheet of leather and twine, and just ties it off so that they have some root and dirt there with them.
Okay, cool.
So you give this to Tandy, I guess.
Yeah, and I'll remember next time we go through that area, I'll remember to stock up on some other vegetables that we've gathered.
That they can grow there.
To give him some variation in his diet.
Yeah, and I'll leave them any of the meat they want. They want all of it, they can have it. I can easily get more.
Most of the meat that he goes and gets goes to the tiger. Probably 80% of it is food for tiger.
Yeah, food.
So
yeah, I don't mind. It was a big beastie, but big beasties tend to be tough anyways. I can hunt easily.
Well, actually, in that couple of hours, while you guys are just shooting the breeze and all, he'd be happy to talk to Dr. Anna about like hunting and things, because that's something he knew zero about when he got here. But since he's been here, he's actually learned quite a bit. For one thing, the dinosaurs that eat other dinosaurs don't taste as good as the dinosaurs that eat grass and things. Don't know why, but that's the way it works. So the dinosaurs that
predators don't taste good.
Weird. And he'll share this with Erlang Shen too, if Erlang wants to be part of that conversation. Yeah, he doesn't know why that is, and it seems kind of weird to him. But yeah, if something wants to eat you, it's not good to eat.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Well, if he wants, he can have a bow, because that'll make hunting easier. And some arrows, because I can.
Well, you have a spare?
I don't know. He seems to have a pretty good system. He can.
Yes, but he
Actually, this will come up as you talk about things. His system for killing carnivores is pretty foolproof. Yeah. The problem is the carnivores don't taste good, so he has to actually kill the herbivores the hard way.
Yes, so here, learn how to do it easily. The easier, the hard way. Just take.
Cool.
Don't even just practice. 200. Here's some arrows. Try not to. I point out how to make them. Try not to lose arrowheads because you have to come to me to get more. 200. Try to shoot 200 times a day, and you'll actually get good at it.
Trust me, his girlfriend's going to be pretty good at flint mapping. She can make arrowheads.
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we need to leave you? Like, do you want like a machete or something? We got.
No. Mokta's
Yes,
he says something to her. He's like, they want to leave like a big metal knife. Would that be useful? And she says, yes, I want the big metal knife. And he's like,
And the
oh,
bow.
I was wrong. If you have a machete, that'd be great.
Think about all of the wilderness bug out bags in the truck. How many machetes do we have? Is more the question.
At this point, probably a good dozen.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and I probably was making it.
Saw tooth back so that she can take down trees if she needs to.
Yeah, and I've probably been bored on these trips, so I most likely do by now have a second bow, just
Cool.
because.
You give him a bow, and he hands the bug out bag to Mokta, and she like digs around and pulls out the machete and pulls it out of its sheath. Ding, shing, shing. She hugs Captain Harrows. She like cuts her finger and puts 2 little marks on his cheeks.
I bow to her.
She bows back.
But I assume that she will get the message.
Yeah,
I
cool.
am honored.
So you made friends. Yay. Oh, one more thing before you guys actually take off. This will be before the conversation about Sam and all that. When you're like still getting ready to go, like, going pee and whatever before you get up back on the road. He'll like step to the side of Erlang Shen, and he'll in a lower voice. He doesn't want everybody to overhear this. Like, hey, we okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to understand that the form that I take, Erlang Shen, is defender of the weak and a seeker of justice and righteousness. As long as you're on that side, we're on the same side.
Okay. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a safe trip. Him and Mokta. Mokta's waving with a machete, and he's just waving. And you guys go down the road and you get to Tranquility. Okay. Now you're at Tranquility. People are happy to see you. Yay! Let's see. Daytime, nighttime when you get there. Let's see. 11 or less, it's daytime. It's daytime! You get there, and it is clear to see when you approach the town that the palisade wall around it, the Old West,
Sharpened sticks.
basically, yeah.
Pointy sticks.
All the way around.
Anti-clam protection if you follow
About half of that is gone. No, not completely gone. I mean, on the side you're approaching, about half of the wall that you can see is gone. But not completely gone, more like eroded or corroded. Like if it were made of something soluble, somebody has dripped water on it and it is kind of like melted down, but not melted so much as like just eroded down.
And this is the wood.
The wood, yes. And
Okay.
the buildings past that also have kind of a Swiss cheese looking effect to them, and some have kind of halfway collapsed.
Somebody's done something.
Acid dragon?
Every single time we leave this place, somebody else attacks it.
I know, right? Right? It's like I was telling Cyril.
It's like I want to go back to Craig Keep and sneak up on the dizzy bitch and stab her in the back just so I can cross her off the list of people who keep fucking with this town. Honestly.
Oh, I figured so that we could move into her joint and leave this place behind.
Hey, if these people want to live on the edge of the sea in a rotting wooden town, that's up to them, I guess.
You know I want one of those brooms she's got.
Well, if we
You didn't ask her where she... Did you ask her where she got it?
No,
Because it's pretty clear by now that she doesn't build anything. She casts spells with her wand. So
Yeah,
anything
no,
she's got, she's either found somewhere, or Seymour or the Black Spider have built it out of something that they've found somewhere.
Yeah, no, my assumption is that I'll find out after I steal it.
All right. So you get to
So
town.
find
Yay,
out-
you're back.
find out.
Yay.
Find out what ate the town.
Yeah.
You quickly learn. Was it break time?
Not for me.
No,
All right.
No, I just drank too much water before after dinner. I'll be right back.
No worries. Well, it's not super important stuff, so I don't mind going on without Donald. You just catch him up when he gets back. You've been gone about 6 months from their time, which is less than Captain Harrow's expected, and I anticipate this will disturb him a bit because it means his measurements, while accurate, are of things that are not constant. So it should have been like a year, and instead it was like 6 months. So anyway, other things, Ty. Hard to pin down because 6 months is a very small amount of time. But at that age, kids grow fairly rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
You do think she looks a bit older than when you left her here last time. So, oh, you're back. All right. Captain Harrows, you thought it would be a year. According to your charts, it's been 6 months. Also, Ty,
Okay.
you reasonably sure Ty is older than the last time you saw her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could be wrong. Could be one of those you think it's going to happen, so that's what you see sort of things. Like you have a Volkswagen, and so now you see tons of Volkswagens.
Right.
But you think she's about 6 months older than the last time you saw her.
Okay.
What attacked the town was ants.
You know, I was just going to say giant acid spitting ants as a joke.
Well, they didn't see any acid, but the ants are like this big.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Smaller
than I thought.
That's not an ant. That's a B-rate 1950s horror movie.
Yeah, about yay big. About the size of a gerbil.
Much smaller than I thought.
That brings to mind a thought that we ought to trade the cyborgs for some of their advanced weapons for the town because we're not going to be able to be here to assist, apparently.
They don't know. Actually, they had no defense against these ants other than retreating. They tried fire. They tried digging a moat. They tried pumping water from the sea into the moat. The ants just made little bridges of themselves and came across the moat. And they ate all the wood that they ran into. And eventually...
Automated plasma weapons? I mean, I really hate to ask it of Georgie, but he is the one best equipped for targeting algorithm.
Ask them to diversify.
Oh,
Or make it musically themed somehow.
Michael.
Captain, you need wire. Captain, you need wire. You need lots and lots and lots of wire.
Yes, electrical field.
Electric fence, yes.
No, ooh.
You actually do have lots of wire.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's
you
probably
have
a
to
lot
twist a lot of it because it's scavenged from
Yeah,
the
it can be tin wire. It can be whatever, and I can use old bottlenecks for
As long as it'll conduct electricity.
For
You talk to
isolation.
Sam. Sam's happy to see you again.
Yeah.
And when you mention wire, Sam will say, "Well, it's interesting you should say that, because on one of my trips to Wangguo, found a big white wagon full of this stuff. So I brought back a couple of spools. We don't really have a lot of use for it, but I thought, could be worth something." And he shows you, it's a spool about yay big of copper wire. And there's another spool that is insulated copper wire, 3-phase. So it's got 3 in different colors and then a ground. And he said, truck's full of it. I got must be 50 more where these came from.
nice.
Do I?
I mean, all we need to do is replace the palisade and align the palisade on the outside with this stuff, and then you can probably lay tripwire, like in the ground or atop the ground. You're only going to need one generator plus a backup to run the thing. It's just an electric fence.
Yeah, electrify the grid. Okay. You know what? I have just the thing to run it on.
Oh, Tandy shows you a mason jar with one of the ants in it. And Michael, who's not here, but is here in spirit, says, that's not an ant. That's termite. It is a termite the size of a gerbil. So
Yes,
it is completely capable of killing you if enough of them attack you. Because it's still got, great big jaws in the front. But its main goal is not to eat people. Its main goal is to eat wood. But that means that there's a nest of those somewhere nearby. And if you saw 100, there are 10,000.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I'm with the electrocution thing. I'm with the electrocution deterrent. I'm also thinking plasma weapons, and we wire Georgie up and just have some automated defenses from the towers. That would get rid of a lot of potential issues.
Yeah, we need to fortify this town so that every time we come back, we don't find new issues.
I'm thinking we get some plasma weapons from the cyborgs. We plant them on top of the towers. We wire a targeting system into Georgie.
For now, I think we should stick to the electrification.
Yeah. On the other hand, the future cowboys did say they had problems. Maybe we don't want to give Georgie direct control over them.
Like I said, for now we have the wire we can electrify, and at least show them how to, so that as they rebuild, they can electrify.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the plasma cannons. I just want a cutoff switch on each one. Hardwire. Pull the pin and it's dead,
You brainstorm this stuff. Reconnect with people who are happy to see you. Jack is happy to see you. Ty is happy to see you.
I do take Sam aside at some point and say, I got a message from someone who would rather not be remembered in this town.
All right.
Can you keep a secret?
Wait, we've lost Lloyd again. What the hell's going on in North Carolina? Wait, you guys in North Carolina? You don't have this problem.
Yeah, outside of about halfway across from him, though.
I was going to say Spectrum. Yeah, we're only about as far from him as you are.
That is quite a ways.
Yeah, Spectrum sucks.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Anyway, I take him aside and, tell him that Cyril's truly sorry for what he did, and he's become a changed man, but he doesn't want to be remembered as the man he was here in town, so he'd appreciate it if nobody mentions his name. I call him Edgelord to Sam.
Really? Oh, here's what Sam looks like, in case anybody forgot. You didn't forget, but I'll share it anyway, because I like pictures. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
All right,
So-
sorry, got dropped off the internet again.
All you missed was Captain Harris taking Sam aside and saying, a fella who doesn't want to be remembered in this town has a message for you. And Sam says, all right.
I say, Edgelord says he's sorry for all the trouble that he caused to you. And he's seen the error of his ways.
You believe him?
I do, actually. He went through a terrible thing that I won't get into right now, but I believe him. He's found a good woman as well.
Oh, that'll do it. All right. I'll take your word for it. Let him know bygones are bygones if you see him again.
I will let him know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any whooping you can walk away from is, well, not a good whooping, but it's when you walk away from.
Yeah.
Hey. And, so he's out there somewhere all alone with this woman?
Yeah, and a pet cat. They adopted a cat. Well, saber-toothed tiger.
Never had much use for cats myself. Just get underfoot.
How about one the size of a pony?
That's a hell of a cat. Tell you what, if what you say is true, and he isn't the man he was, because I'm not the man I used to be either. We don't need to go into that right now, but believe me when I tell you. If he wants to come back and be a part of the town, I think we could arrange that. I could talk to Sheriff Rose and the mayor, and I think there might be a few hard feelings, but
Well,
he wouldn't be the only one, put it that way.
let's wait until I talk to him again.
All right.
He asked me to only mention to you that we'd seen him.
Just me.
He needed.
He did seem to have some kind of hate on for me for some reason. I think it's because I was the one who's never afraid of him.
Yeah, he was. He said you specifically. He needed to apologize to, and he wished me to carry that on. And he said, "Don't mention meeting him to anyone else because he doesn't want to be remembered like that."
All right. Well, if he doesn't show up here again, then I won't mention him to anybody else.
All right.
No need to dredge up anything people might not want to remember.
Yeah, and I will pass on your offer to him.
Yeah, I think we could find a place for him if he was not the man he was. He's not the only one here who needed redemption. Thanks for letting me know. And for what it's worth, if you see him again, tell him I hope he's doing all right.
All right, I will. He seemed to appreciate hearing about those of his gang who were doing all right here in town. He was really glad to hear about them. So that says something that we might not have thought about. That says something about him that we might not have expected.
People can surprise you. All right, then. Hey, about that wagon with all the wire.
Yeah.
Do you want to know where that is? Because there's plenty more.
Yes, let's go get that. Bye.
All right. It's not that far. I mean, you can probably get there and back before nightfall if you want to.
Yeah.
And that's on foot. So it's not that far down the coast.
Probably could hotwire the thing.
I'll teach Ty to drive the hovercraft.
Soup it up a bit.
Oh, Ty is thrilled to fly the hovercraft. And she's thrilled to see you again. Like, she gives you a great big hug. You kind of get the feeling you become her, like, surrogate older brother. Because she mentioned before that she and her brother showed up or got lost in the rainbow rain. Mm-hmm. And she lost track of him. And she assumes he's dead. So you've kind of taken that place in her world,
right,
whatever that's worth, which is probably not terribly healthy for her, but still. Yeah, she flies the hovercraft down, and you get there in like 15 minutes. So
yeah.
Here's what it looks like. You find this washed up on its side on the coast. You know, because the coast is very rocky, if you remember. I don't know if you remember, it's been months and months. But the coast is very rocky, big jutting rocks. It's like leaning up on its side on a bunch of rocks. And it looks like this. There you go. One of these.
Huh.
Ah, yay.
Well, that's going to be useful for scavenging off of.
Yeah.
And
alone in those things.
In the back of it and scattered around it are probably 20 spools of different kinds and gauges of wire.
Not to mention all of the hydraulics.
Also, a bunch of
You can make picnic
toolboxes
tables out of the
and.
cable spools.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what, Lloyd?
I said, not to mention you can make picnic tables out of the cable spools.
Oh my God, with them, yeah.
The smallest, the smallest of the wire is what Sam brought back, and that's the kind of thing you'd run to power a 220 washing machine or a dryer. The largest spools are picnic table is not too far off. If you stacked up 3 of them,
We used to have one, which is why I say it.
yeah, well they're not quite that big, but if you stacked 3 of them on their side, it would be the height of a cafe table. Like if you had chairs on either side, it would be the height of a table. 3 of them.
So the yay big-ish ones.
Yes,
Not
yes.
yay big ones, but
Correct.
Yeah, they're about 3 feet diameter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
yeah,
the thick the biggest ones on this particular truck, the wire itself is about as big around as your finger. It's thick, but it's not high voltage thick.
Yeah, Harrow's towing and recovery. Let's get this puppy back. It's got too much good stuff to waste.
What kind of condition is it in? Has it been here for years or days or what?
Days at most. There's no one in it.
That means the vehicle itself is probably still usable.
There's no one in it. The tires are okay. Rubber over time turns to powder. Everybody knows this, right? Okay. There's a thing called dry rot that happens to tires over time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These tires, they're fully inflated like it was done yesterday. So the truck itself, although it's been banged up a bit and it's got dents all over it because it's been bounced off of rocks a half a dozen times, the truck itself looks like someone was driving it a couple of days ago. So there's that. But you don't see any people. The keys are still in it. In theory, if you got all that water out of the engine compartment and out of the air intakes, it might even run.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a mechanic or maybe an engineer to do that.
If only you had. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay, so
pull the glow plug, spin the motor to spit all the water out, but lead the fuel system, put the glow plug back
between the group of you, other than Sam, who basically just stands there and goes, "Huh," while you're working because he's not a superhero, he's a character in the hag's parlance. He only has one set of memories. So between the group of you, however, it's after dark, but you've got it on all of its tires. It's and up onto the ground, and you've cleared the water out of its whatever it has water in, and eventually you get it started.
Yay!
You have a drivable line truck
With a cherry picker.
with a cherry picker on it.
Perfect for the task we needed
Oh!
for.
While you're doing that, because Sam cannot abide just standing by and being useless. So the hours that pass while you guys are working on that, he combs the area for tools and electrical lugs and various other things that fell out of this truck when it slammed up against the rocks.
Probably
So-
about 200
Tools
wire
are
nuts.
extremely helpful.
That sounds like a good idea.
Wait, stop. What'd you say, Craig?
Yes, I was. If Sam hadn't already done that, I was going to mention about tools as well. Could be extremely helpful. How about? I know it's an electrician's truck. But are there any cutting implements like I don't know, oxyacetylene or anything like that?
Okay, I'll get back to you. What'd you say, Lloyd?
I said he probably comes back with about 250 various sizes of wire nuts.
That too. Okay. Isco helps right the truck because he can do shape change. Well, so can Erlang Chen. You guys can shape change into like monstrous muscular forms and right the truck and push it up onto solid ground. At which point, while Erlang's helping electrical and mechanical matters, Isco can help Sam gather up tools and bits and whatnots. And yeah, you find a pile, or Isco and Sam find a pile of wire nuts and connectors and brackets and crimps and tools and cutters and all sorts of things. Oxyacetylene torches? No. You do, however, you do find a couple of small brazing torches. Like the actual bottle is not any bigger than this.
Yep.
Like a map gas cylinder. Yeah.
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 Yep.
It's not going to melt through metal. What it is it's essentially a low-tech soldering iron, basically. But you do find a couple of those, a couple of bottles for that.
You can bend metal with a map gas torch.
Depends on the metal. But in general, these are not really meant for that. It's meant to make soldering very low temperature metal flow.
I've bent mild steel the size as big around as my pinky finger.
Okay.
It took a while to heat it up, but you can do it. But
So
anyway,
between the group of you gather all this stuff up.
While when they head off looking, I remind them to look for evidence of whoever left the truck.
Yep.
That's what I'm more focusing
And
on.
look for PPE like arc flash gear and things like that.
Dr. Anna, make a survival reason roll for tracking.
Because somebody left this truck. He may have been thrown from the bucket and landed 100 years in the past. Who knows? But he might be out there somewhere.
13.
Oh, wow. You rolled 3 more than you needed. So while Isco and Sam are gathering up tools and mechanical minutia, and while Erlang and Captain Harrows are repairing the truck itself, Dr. Anna starts doing circles around, looking for evidence of whoever was behind the wheel when this thing crashed. You do find footprints, a trail leading off. Normal people would not even see them as footprints, but to you they may as well be glow in the dark. They're going away from Wangguo along the coast, not up into the trees, like literally along the coast, which makes it very hard to track because it's very rocky. But once in a while, you see like a footprint or a different footprint,
Like toward Tranquility.
No, away from Tranquility. What did I say before? Did I say toward Wangguo?
No, you said away.
You said away from.
I misspoke. Away from Tranquility toward Wangguo. Of course, you're much closer to Tranquility than you are to Wangguo. And Wangguo is not literally on the coast. It's up into the mountains a bit. So if they continue walking along the edge of the sea, eventually they will encounter lizard people, and shortly after that they will encounter a spit upon which they will be rotating.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get them before that.
You're not the one looking for them, though. Dr. Anna is. Hang on.
Should I just, as soon as she finds footprints, I'm like, should we just set off a rescue flare right now so that they know to turn around and come back?
Over the radio, Captain Harrows says that to Dr. Anna. What do you say? Dr.
That's
Anna.
probably a good idea. I'm going to keep walking. I know how to get back here.
Okay, Captain Harrows fires off a flare, and the person or persons who are walking along the road, sadly, roll an 8 to see the flare, which is absolutely terrible. They're facing the wrong way. They simply don't see it.
I'm going to pick up pace because I can go, as long as I don't lose my track, I'm going to go as fast as I can without losing track.
Okay,
I can go fast.
so you need to go as fast as you can without losing their trail. So make a survival tracking roll, but it's more difficult this time.
Okay. If I lose track, I'll have to come back and I guess and keep
Yes, you will.
slow down. Well, yeah, it rolled lower, so that's 11 this time.
You stop for a minute and you're like looking around. You've lost the trail.
All right, go
Okay.
back, try again.
Tell Captain Harrows to keep doing what he's doing. I'll fly over to where Anna is, Dr. Anna. Say,
A glowing cloud with a guy in gold armor descends next to Dr. Anna.
Okay, how far in front of you do you think this person or persons are?
Oh, if it's been a couple of days, who knows? They could be a couple of miles out if they're following. But hopefully, they're still following the shoreline.
Okay, hang on. Fly up. and using hyper acuity, see if I can see anything along the coast.
Make a perception reason plus power roll. You need 13.
16.
Erlang Shen flies up in the air, looks around with his sight beyond sight. Wait, look! Movement! You see movement. The starlight, which is to you nearly daylight, because hypercutie. You see movement along the edge of the sea, the coastline. It's about 5 miles off.
Okay. Get on the radio, tell everybody I'm going to check it out, and fly over there.
I'll keep tracking till he says otherwise.
Sounds good. You pick the trail back up again and then start jogging along to catch up. Hang on. I'm looking for a guy.
Oh, aren't we all?
Talk to about a thing.
Hilarious.
Paper. There it is.
Looking for a guy because I got a thing I need to do.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Oh, good. Well, you get your guy in touch with my guy. Maybe we can do business.
All right, that's not working. Let me try this instead. Oh, this will work. I'll do this. Okay, here you go. Erlang Shen lands next to this person. Or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
She freaks the fuck out. She's holding an adjustable wrench that's about a foot long. It's like it's not huge like one of those pipe wrenches that plumbers use, but it's still a good sized club. And she like holds it in front of her and she's like, back off. I know how to use this.
To remove nuts?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the ones? Are you the owner of the bucket truck back there? About, I don't know, 6 or 8 hours walk.
Maybe. Who are you?
AT&T truck, got a cherry picker on it. Oh, my name's John Erlang, by the way, also known as Erlang Shen. You're going the wrong way. If you keep going this way, lizard men will attack you and eat you.
The fuck you say?
The fuck I say. Hang on, wait. Rummage around in the pouch, pull out a camera, click back through it until I get to fighting lizard men. Like that.
She like cautiously looks at your phone because I don't trust you. She says, "Huh."
Now, there is a Chinese town. It's about 12th century, I think, up there, but it's on the other side of the lizard men, so you'd have to get through them to get to the Chinese town. They're actually pretty peaceful. Or if you want to turn around and head back the way I came, there's a western town circa 1870 back that way. They're also pretty friendly.
Are you high?
Nope. Wait. Sun on the cloud, jump on the cloud, fly up into the sky, like 100 feet, look down at her, wave, fly back down. Now, the question you need to be asking is, are you high?
Let me see how well she deals with this, because this is beyond the pale for a normal person.
I can
So-
tell you that.
Do you announce that you found her?
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
So,
I think I found the owner of the bucket truck. I'm a little freaked out right now, but give her a few minutes to calm down.
If I stick along the shoreline, will I find you?
Yeah, a couple hours ahead of you.
All right, run.
For normal
You
people.
all has to be here in a couple of minutes.
All right, run towards run to him.
Okay.
I'll slow down. I will slow down prior to getting in sight.
I was gonna say, because that would be really comforting.
okay, she does not believe you,
Okay.
but she doesn't freak out. She's on that cusp between. She's
So
on the
I-
cusp of skepticism. She's like, I don't know what's going on here,
Okay.
and I don't know how you did that,
Nope.
and that's really all I know.
Okay. Well,
So-
I got someone with a little bit better diplomatic skills. She's on her way, so she should be jogging up here anytime.
At which, probably about that point, you hear crunch, crunch, crunch as she looks behind her, and nears jogging up at a normal human pace comes Dr. Anna. Okay,
I'm running so
oh, stay back, because I've got an adjustable wrench, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Do you want something better than that?
Would you like a better weapon? Then I'll happily give you one.
What?
Yeah, like a machete, sword, or something like
Why?
that.
Why would? Wait, no, that. You're trying to confuse me.
No, I'm trying to be helpful, but that's okay.
So, are either of you guys holding weapons?
Nope.
No,
I am visibly and repeatedly armed, but I'm
I
not.
am ditto. I am visibly armed, but my hands are
Okay.
not.
How about we just put the weapons away? And she's the only one with one, so she like hangs it on a loop on her belt, from which other weapons or tools actually are also hanging. She's like, okay. So to Dr. Anna, she says, "Where am I?"
Hello, Mr. Cat.
Hey, kitty. Oh, hello, kitty. So cute. Oh, hello, Vixen. Vixen thought I was talking to her. Hello, Vixen.
Oh,
I said kitty, and she her head came up.
You talking to me?
She's napping over there in the kind of. Yeah, that's
Mr.
adorable, Lloyd.
Mr. Kitty just discovered how to do this. Yes.
I do enjoy a nice shoulder cat.
yes.
That's
All right.
adorable.
Yes.
She's like, to Dr. Anna, she says, okay, where am I?
Well, first off, let's do interactions properly. I'm Dr. Anna Lantagne. You've already met my companion.
And what's his name?
John Erling.
John
No,
Erling.
I didn't ask.
No.
I wanted her to see if
I
she
said
knew
it
the same
before
name
he
you told
does.
me.
John Erling.
Well, now he said it, so it doesn't count.
Pull out my wallet. Pull out my ID card. Hand it to her.
She can't
Pull up my
really.
ID card.
It's dark out, so.
Have her
Wait!
Here.
I've got a flashlight. She takes out a flashlight. Okay. Because it's nighttime.
Yeah.
John Early can see just fine. To everybody else, it's night. Okay. That checks out. She hands it back.
Here's mine.
So can I go down to the bar now?
All right. And what is going on?
So let's start with the easy question. Did you crash in a storm? Really weird storm?
Yeah, like green lightning and orange rain.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, do you remember the TV show called In Search of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! That's you.
Yes, hi, I'm Dr. Anna.
Yeah, I know you didn't recognize her.
Congratulations. Unfortunately, you have discovered the thing we were researching and got stuck in ourselves. We actually got stuck in the same storm. We're not on Earth anymore.
So the Loch Ness Monster thing, was that real or did you guys stage that?
That was all real.
I knew it. So, wait, so we're like on another planet?
Oh, incredulous.
Yeah.
You what?
Yes, we are on another planet. That was yes, as far as we've been able to calculate, yes.
Wow. Oh, Roberta Warren. You
Yes,
can call me
nice to meet you.
Roberta.
Nice to meet you, Roberta.
Uh,
Would you like to head back to start walking back because it is after dark and we would
To the- she points at John. She's to the cowboy town?
Yes.
well, first we're gonna pick up your vehicle.
What?
All right, who's smoking?
I think that's us.
Yeah, no, that's in my room here. Okay. Good for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was weird out of nowhere.
That was weird. Yeah, the truck is toast. You're not going to get the truck. The truck's a lost cause.
No, actually, we've got equipment. It's been uprighted, and they're actually working on getting it working.
What, seriously?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm probably gonna take it back to the town because that is the most logical place to take it. And we came looking for you when we found it.
Why?
Because we presumed that the truck did not appear on its own.
No, that makes sense. I was driving it at the time.
There's almost stuff doesn't show up without people in it.
Huh.
Well, no,
Well, that's
stuff
weird.
show up without people occasionally.
Occasionally, but most of the time, if there's a truck or something like that, it's usually, it's worth checking to see if there's somebody in it.
Was there anybody?
I'm sorry, what?
Was there anybody else with you?
No, I just dropped everybody off at the shop, and I was taking the truck over to park it before going home for the day. And then purple lightning and orange rain.
Yeah.
And then I'm falling out of the sky, and the truck hits the ground and falls over, and I crawl out. And
yeah, at least you hit land instead of water. Ours got stuck several meters offshore.
Huh. Well, that's something.
Don't go in the water.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
I
just leave
wasn't
it.
planning to. Why? What's in the water?
You don't want to know.
I kind of do now.
The nearest thing we can tell is that the place we are has recovered objects and living things and pieces of topography from different times.
Places, planets.
The old western town that we're taking you back to is right next to an area that they think is somewhere in like the Triassic period, and it's full of dinosaurs.
And including the one that's in the water.
And yeah, a lot of the things that are inhabiting the water are large and carnivorous.
Don't go swimming. Got it. All right then. Which way are we going?
Back the way I came.
Okay, I took a 50-50 chance, and apparently I picked wrong. Let's go. She follows you guys.
Well, believe me, most of the choices around here are kind of picking wrong.
All right then. So wait, I just saw you guys on TV like yesterday. So when did this happen?
We've been here for months.
20.
Time works a little funny around here. I'll give her the last date that we know of. Back home.
You're from the future? That's crazy. Wait, or am I from the past?
No, we're from the future. It's easier that way. Like I said, we've met people from the 1870s, from the, what you said, 14th century?
No, it's
like
early,
12th.
like
12th century.
Like Wonquo's from like the 12th century.
Yeah. We're meeting people from the future.
Roman centurion.
Different realities. Dimensions, probably.
But how's that work? You chat for a while she walks back. If you walk at her speed, it takes like 6 hours to get back.
At some point, I'm going to suggest to Anna that we speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, would you like, by the way, we move a little faster than you. Would you like to catch a ride with us? It took us literally like 15 minutes to find you.
Really?
Yes.
She looks over at John Erlang. She's like, can 2 people fit on their cloud?
Yes. I'll summon a cloud. Hold up my hand.
She gets on the cloud.
Okay.
She seems like, well, this is going to be... Ah!
Get back to the truck, introduce her to Captain Harrows, and just go.
She stops screaming just after you land. Okay.
I show up.
I'm good. No, I wasn't screaming. You were screaming. Okay. Wow. All right.
It took him 5 minutes. It takes me 10 or whatever because I'm half as fast as he is. And so I show up a few minutes after she calms down.
Yeah, when they arrive, my minions are sorting all of the stuff that people are finding.
Bring it back
More,
in the
more
bin.
than that, the minions can actually put them back into the bins from which they spilled.
Yeah.
So all the little doors on the side of the truck are open, and minions are like. So yeah,
I'll introduce her.
Rebecca Warren. Hi.
Captain
Wow.
John Harris.
How'd you get it out of the water? How'd you get it right side up? She's looking around for like a tow truck or something. Does not see one.
I point my thumb at the hover wagon.
Huh. Well, that's something. You're the captain. I watch your show. You're the guy who found the Kraken off the coast of Madagascar.
A fan, yes, indeed. And
I'm
almost got
so looking forward to the 7th season. You guys left sometime toward the end of the 8th season. It's like, because I think you guys are really going to find the Chupacabra, which you actually did not find.
Shoot, I think we might have that on. Do you think we might have that on tape on the from?
Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if maybe she'd like to see one of the episodes I've spliced together from footage since we got here.
That'd be fantastic. However, we are apparently on the edge of Dinosaur Lake, so maybe getting to your Old West town would be a good idea.
Not a bad plan.
You get the diesel started, and I've got I forget what class it is for big ass diesel trucks. Which says I've got a class 2 license if you guys need me to drive that. I mean, I was driving it before it fell out of the sky.
Hmm.
Do you have diesel fuel in your Old West town?
We have some. We've also actually you may find this interesting. Amelia Earhart stole a good bit of our diesel fuel.
The lady who got lost in the Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah, somehow she managed to refit a P-51 with.
Are we in the Bermuda Triangle now?
No, this is probably where the Bermuda Triangle drops things off.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Horrible, but crazy. I don't know if I should be happy or not. I hope somebody feeds my dog. Well, all right. She gets up into the cab of the truck and she says, all right, am I, out the window to Captain Harrows and the hover barge, am I following you?
Yeah. And I will make sure to take a path that she can take in the truck.
Yeah, she
And
basically
just,
follows you
flying.
back to Tranquility in the electrical cherry picker truck.
Mhm.
That's weird. So you have a licensed master electrician among your population now.
She's getting put to use if she desires. With that
Yeah. I introduce her to Georgie. Give her a pin out.
All right, then.
Introduce her to the town mayor and.
Yeah, a certified electrician with a pinout should be able to build any interface I can.
I'll be right back.
I desire.
All right. It's 9:15. Let's take a 5-minute break for ablutions and refills of drinks and so forth. Okay?
Okay.
See you back at 9:20. And we're back. Hooray! Okay, so you get the electrical truck and Roberta Warren back to the town. Hooray! It's nighttime. Some people are still up and about and carousing. Most of the town's probably asleep now. So you have basically the people of the bar, Tandy and her regular clientele, card players and card sharks and ne'er-do-wells, are all hanging out. And a diesel truck pulls into town. They open up the big-ass wooden palisade gates and let it in, because you guys are with it. And there you go. You're back in town. Yay!
All right.
Huzzah!
Introduce,
And then what?
Introduced Roberta to Tandy.
Oh my goodness, my bottle's empty. Roberta's happy to see Tandy. Tandy's happy to see Roberta. In fact, how happy are they? Because
If,
ooh, Roberta and Tandy seem to hit it off.
Oh.
Be right back.
And you know, if the sheriff's about, introduce her, and if not, ask Tandy to mention to the sheriff, and yada yada yada.
Okay. Introductions are made. Man, it's the most exercise I've got all day. So, here we go. $3 bottle of wine. Because I ran out of the $6 wine. Now I'm on the cheap stuff. Instructions are made. Everything's fine. Now that Roberta knows you guys are from In Search Of, so she knows who you are, that seems to have eased her transition quite a bit. Aren't you glad you're celebrities? Night passes.
It's ever worked out.
Gotta catch my breath. Okay. So, to catch up just a little bit, you guys have a map, although calling it a map is a bit of an exaggeration. It's more of a sketch of a half dozen landmarks that should lead you.
Chart.
What?
We have a chart.
You have a chart that is supposed to lead you to the. No, I'm trying to blank on the name of the thing. No.
The lever that can destroy the universe.
Basically. Where is it? I know it's here somewhere.
I'm just trying to remember, what is it that India called their nuclear program?
Pashupatastra is
Was
the
that
name of the item the hag wants you to retrieve. Pashupatastra, which is in Hindi or whatever, astra means weapon. So Pashupatastra means weapon of Pashupata. So there you go. You have a chart more or less that should lead you to where it's located. Not so much a map as it is, here's a large landmark, there's a large landmark, here's a large landmark. And you keep following those, eventually you will see the Crystal City is what it's marked on your map. Crystal City. That is where it is being held. Its description, which there's also like a sketch of it, it basically looks like a spear made out of light or crystal. Hard to say from the drawing. So are you going to go get that for the hag? Because she seemed...
Well, I assume
She seemed to think that you were agreeing to go get it in exchange for her returning that town to living people.
well, it's nice she thinks that anyway.
I don't really agree on those terms, but
No. We are planning on going and getting the lever that can destroy the universe, but
And
for
getting
her,
back out of stone. Yeah, I figured we were going to go there, point it at her, get the people turned back into stone, and then she could behave or not.
Well, that's really up to you guys. So what do you? The next day rises. We can fast forward 2 or 3 days. It's fine. It's not like time is all that important. So
Yeah, we get stuff done. I'm in no hurry to go get this thing for her, is kind of my point.
You get stuff done. You meet up with Jack. You meet up with Ty. Oh, Ty is the next day after everything's kind of settled down a bit. She shows Captain Harrows a thing that she has invented. It is a flame cannon. No, fire cannon. She calls it a fire cannon.
Fire.
Essentially, she's got a backpack of flammable liquids on her back and like a rifle type arrangement. And she pulls the trigger and the liquids mix and ignite and spews fire for like 20 meters. This was what eventually drove away the giant ants, which Michael has since revealed are not actually ants, but they're termites. An easy mistake to make because they're very similar in appearance.
Okay, so what we'll need here is Dr. Anna to trace the termites back to their mound, and then we're going to need the biggest bug bomb that you can make. Ideally, out of whatever those two chemicals are in the flamethrower.
Well, we happen to have a guy made of fire, so we could also just use that. Ask him if he wants to do it.
Just drop Isco down the anthill and let him go.
If we want to drop Isco, or if Isco wants to drop himself down a termite mound capable of eating a small town, that's completely up to Isco, but I wasn't going to volunteer him for the job.
No, but if I'm wondering what her fuel was.
Well, she apparently has enough raw material to make 5 gallons of it, so let's find if she's got enough raw material to make 2 55-gallon drums of it.
Well, she had like 6 months after you guys were gone to work on this sort of thing. So, yeah. I'm actually... We're just gonna gloss over what the liquids are. But when they combine, they ignite.
A and compound B.
Yeah. One is based on alcohol and the other one's based on bleach or something like that. It's something weird like that.
Not talking like hydrazine and peroxide.
It would take a scientist to explain it.
100% pure peroxide, right?
Yeah, one's based on lye. Because this is the Old West, right? They're not big on bleach, but they're big on lye. Yeah. So one, one's based on lye, and the other one's based on kerosene. And she has distilled them both through many, many beakers and tubes and things into what's in these actual tanks. There you go. And again, it would take a scientist to explain it, and she's more about effects than causes.
Okay, well, can we find the termite mound?
So you go look for the termite mound? Is that the deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does everybody go looking for the termite mound?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right. It's safe to say that Dr. Anna is the one who actually finds the termite mound. So, as it happens, the termites, as you now know they are, don't crawl on the surface of the ground. They crawl underneath. So Dr. Anna finds their tunnels, which are just underneath the baked surface of your prehistoric desert, and manages to track them back to, well, my goodness, it is basically a termite mound. It's basically a hill the size of a house, a 2-story house, and as you get close to it, you can see from time to time a bug the size of a gerbil comes out, goes back in, comes out, goes back in.
That's more the size of a guinea pig than a gerbil.
Oh, yes. I was thinking guinea pig, but I kept saying gerbil. Gerbil's like a hamster, more like a tiny. It's like a big mouse. It's like mouse, gerbil, rat, and then hamster's like a chubby gerbil. I meant guinea pig. So, guinea pig. Yeah. You get to the mound. It's a mound. Look, there it is. But again, they're basically subterranean in nature. So there is a mound, but they don't really crawl in and out of it all that much. It's mainly for air
How far
and
is
water.
How far is this from town?
Like 5 kilometers.
Okay, so a little too far to run a hose from the water tower and just dump.
Yes.
'Cause that would be
that'd be long hose.
Yeah. Okay. I guess their tunnels are too big for me to fit into.
Small, rather. Too small for you to fit into.
Yeah, too small for me to fit.
Ooh, here we go. Here you go. Here's a typical giant termite.
Ooh, this bud.
That is one ugly little bug.
So you can understand why they mistook that for an ant.
I personally can tell it's not an ant, but then I'm the kind of person who actually can identify it.
Now what?
And again, you're kind of, almost like a biologist or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ty says, so should I climb up there and hose it down with fire? What should I do? What are we doing? What's the plan?
I think we need to drop a bomb on it. Ideally, one bomb made out of fire.
Right, but we gotta get to the root of it.
Yeah, ideally, we need one that can penetrate.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Harrows, we need a digging poison gas / flame carrying bomb robot. And me personally, just for aesthetic's sake, I think it should add one of those like mole man drill bits on the front of it. But that's just me. You're on mute.
The mole man drill bit on the front of it, that goes without saying.
Exactly. All right.
The question is, are we doing it with treads or legs?
I'll leave the details up to you. You're the designer.
Yeah, I built a little robot that'll take 2 hoses that we can hook up to Ty's flamethrower. So basically, the little robot's a little drilling tip that drills down in there, and when it gets to a big cavern, it'll just spew Ty's hypergolic fluids together, and boom.
Sounds like a plan. Make an engineering roll.
Hello, darling. You're going to bed again? Oh. Okay.
What?
Sorry, just saying hello to bed.
As you do.
10.
10 total? Really?
Yeah.
All right. You set your thing up. You fired up. Broom, broom, broom.
Wait. Do I use my power level?
Yeah.
Then it's a 14.
That made an enormous difference because you need to beat a 13. Sorry, I should have mentioned that this tied into your machine control. Yeah. You fired up, you sent it down. It's a close call because had you actually rolled the 10, a hive full of termites would have come out and attacked you, and you would have had to retreat or die. Those would have been essentially your choices. As it happens, smoke comes out of the termite mound, and you hear the squeaky roasting kind of sound that comes from like a hard shell being heated and it has moisture. Oh, and then you hear like pop, 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 like popcorn as they pop because, they're moist inside and they've got a hard outer shell.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like cooking lobsters.
Like bug popcorn. And like a good half hour goes by. From time to time, a lone termite will like dig its way out of the ground and like run away. Run away. But we're talking like less than a dozen total out of a nest of like 10,000. So
only the queens can reproduce anyway, so we're good.
Yeah, they're drones, they're workers. They look do you want to take a look? They look basically like the previous picture, except they're pure white. Because they never see the light of day normally. 45 minutes go by, the smoke dies down. After about an hour, robot comes back out, walks up, crawls up, spider light to Captain Harrow's, reports with a little robotic spider leg that its tanks are empty and the nest is dead.
You're muted.
Somebody get that robot a drink.
Yeah, I think that solves that problem. I get him a drink of 3-in-1 oil.
You pat the robot on the head and tell it it's a good boy, and all is well. So.
Yeah, and I pour it a drink of 3-in-1 oil.
Happy robot.
All right, Brendan, is there anywhere in the area a stand of trees approximately the same size and shape of the ones that need to be replaced in the palisade wall?
Sure.
Okay, probably be a good idea to cut some timber for the wall.
Terrific. You guys spend a couple of days repairing the palisade wall. Meanwhile, Captain Harrows and Roberta Warren and Ty figure out the whole electrical fence thing. And between the whole team, before the end of the week, you have a much better defended outer perimeter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm down to 2 power cores.
Oh, you're spending one on that?
And a diesel.
If it electric fences the place, runs the desalinization unit, we can do some mounted energy weapons if needed. Yeah, it's worth using one of them for it, huh? To protect our home base.
The desalinization of the water and the electric fence are easily done and just take a fraction of the power available in one of those power cores. However, if the weapons actually fire, that will take the bulk of their power.
Oh, okay.
So there's not a whole lot they can do if they actually need to fire the weapons, other than firing the weapons. Just say no. An extended battle will put you low on drinkable water, if that makes sense.
But that's fine, because usually it's just, be enough trouble for anything attacking to turn around and go away.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we bring back windmill, solar panels, and electrical storage devices?
You did.
So
from the far future settlers.
Yes.
Space pilgrims.
We don't even need to use one of these until we get the energy weapons in place.
That makes sense. Because you can power the electrical fence and the desalinization completely from wind and or sun.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Brandon, while we're here, I'll check with the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Sun.
Yes. See, were there any children in town? Have there been any children in town?
Not many. And that's actually been a source of concern for me. I'm wondering if there might be something that is making people less. He looks around, makes sure there's no women around.
Right.
Less fertile. Like, since we've got here, there have only been 4 children, and you would normally expect to be a lot more than that.
Yeah. Water doesn't have a high saltpeter content, does it?
I don't know. I haven't tested for that.
Ah.
I'm not sure how to test for that. How would I test for that? Do you know how to test for that?
I don't know, Brandon. Do I know how to test for that?
You have medical?
Yes.
Big roll. Tell me what you get. Reason.
I rolled a 10.
No, you don't.
Well, that's just a 10 on the dice. Is it connected to a attribute?
Add your reason.
Oh, 13.
Oh, yes, you do.
Okay.
And you could describe to him the way you can chemically test for that. And he's like, no, oh, yes, that makes sense. That makes sense, yes. I can do that. I will test that. It'll take a couple of hours, and I'll get back to you. No, the water doesn't have saltpeter in it.
Okay.
It has salt in it, but we're taking that out now.
Uh-huh.
Of course, before that, we were relying on rainwater, and there might have been something in that. But we're not storing that anymore, so I can't really tell you.
Okay. Well, if the fertility rates start to rise, we'll know.
I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Sure. And were there children in town when everybody arrived? I take it they died off.
Sadly, all of the actual children died fairly quickly.
Uh-huh.
They're small and weak and easy to eat.
Okay.
Dinosaurs.
Kind of figured. All right. I'll report that back to everybody else, see if anybody else has any suggestions.
Well, electrical fence. We go through the town after we finish electrifying and chase everything out, and before closing off the electrical fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those little guys that we found. You know, found slithering, sneaking about. You know,
there are some small, like cat-sized dinosaurs that mainly they seem to like dig through the trash. They're not really dangerous to people unless you are trapped in an alley with a dozen of them. But generally speaking, they're more scavengers than they are predators.
Still want to get rid of them.
You chase them out, not a problem. And there are like 4 or 5 children, like legitimate children, under the age of 6 in the town. You just haven't run into them because those people don't take them to bars.
Single harems, lowlifes. Is that what you're saying, Brandon?
I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying that the children are not where you typically are.
Yeah, no, Lloyd, it's not that we hang out with lowlives. It's that we're the kind of people lowlives lower themselves to hanging out with.
There you go.
So there you go. Let's say better part of a week has gone by. You've got a supply of timber to restore the wall. You've got a plan for running the electrical fence. It's going to take a week or 2 to actually get that done. The wall will probably take 2-3 weeks to get repaired because the termites ate huge chunks of that. But you have a plan. Roberta, now that the fact that she knows who you guys are has made a huge difference in her ability to adapt. Had she not known who you were, there's a good chance she'd still be walking along the coast looking for civilization. So there's that. But now that she's here, she's like, yeah, sure, wire, yeah, I can do that. Oh, no, let me, you're going to kill yourself if you keep doing this. So, no, insulated gloves. Here, I'm sure I've got an extra pair. She goes to the truck and gets an extra pair of insulated gloves, gives them to Ty. So, they're working on running the wires. So.
Good.
It's all part of the plan.
Okay.
Now what?
Okay. I'm gonna go through the data stores back in the truck and find out if in anybody's MP3 collection there was, say a copy of Close to the Bone or a single of The Long Goodbye or something like that.
Very possible on Cyril's phone. He may have had a lot of music. He had music on there, didn't he?
Yeah. Basically any post John Leeway Thompson twin.
Pretend I don't have any idea what you're talking about. And then tell me what the fuck you were talking about. Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
We're talking about music.
I'm looking for music by the Hag's favorite band from after she left Earth.
Oh. Sure, why not? Edgelord seems like the kind of guy who'd like that sort of thing, so yeah. You dig up on his tablet or his phone and you find, the less.
I was thinking it could have been something that we had in our equipment.
Maybe you do.
Not my kind of music, man.
Yeah, but you never know. We might have used a piece of music from them, from that album for one of the specials, or you know.
Never know. Sure, you find a half dozen albums from various bands.
Okay. I'm just figuring we ought to put together a little bit of, some
Peace offering?
The hag hasn't heard, so that, a peace offering for the next time we visit.
Okay.
Well,
it goes against my grain, but you do realize that it's at some point we're gonna have to kill her, right?
I'm hoping to avoid that, actually.
I don't think it's the sort of thing that's avoidable. I'm pretty sure that she's convinced that that's her job, is to be our opponent.
Yeah. And she's resigned to. I think she's resigned to losing, but she's not going to be easy for us.
However,
actually, she would be real easy, provided you don't mind sneaking up behind her and bashing her head in with a brick.
So,
really goes against
why did you just do that when you were there?
It's not the sort of thing that I do, really.
Here's the thing, though. She is less sure of herself at this point than Cyril was of himself when we drove him out of town.
So you're saying we need to break her and then throw her out, drive her out into the wild?
No. There's soft power, not hard power. There are fewer ways of doing things.
I'm kidding.
I mean,
I was kind of coming around to that way of thinking.
Honestly, if we get her to shift from villain to anti-hero, I'm fine with that. Right? I can see the reluctant hero. She'd rather really just destroy everything, but you know what? It's her everything to destroy, and if you want to destroy everything, you got to go through her first. I'm actually kind of okay with her with that. It's better than what she's at now, at least.
Well, I guess that's why you guys are the diplomats and I'm not.
Yes, we prefer to say hello before cleaving Orson in half. Oh, I'm sorry, that was it. That was Isco.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you are in the town. Things seem to be going. A wagon pulled by like 4 Chinese guys.
Okay.
4 Chinese guys show up pulling a wagon full of stuff from Wonquo, and then there's a trading session between them and Sam and various other people. So, what are you guys up to?
Ask the guys who were pulling the wagons, or the guys who were with the wagons, a couple of questions about Wonquo.
Okay.
Like, how many people are there? How many people live there? Do they have like a census of?
There is an official census once a year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the number is, but it's probably they chat among themselves for a minute. It's like what? It's like 2,000, about 2,000, about 2,000.
Okay. Is that number going up or going down?
They don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, we haven't had any serious attacks in a while, so not down.
Okay, well, that's good. Are there a number of children being born?
Children. Haven't really thought about that. Let's see. Do any of these guys have a spouse? It's all men in this particular group. Wow. Okay. None of these guys has a spouse, so none of these guys have children that they know of. Not that they know of.
Well, were any of them born after Wongwo went through the catastrophe?
No. We were all between 10 and 20 when Wongwo suffered the catastrophe and the world changed around it.
Okay. All right, cool. That's all. I was just curious.
Okay. They are slightly in awe of you and clearly would be happy to answer any of the questions you have.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay. In fact, pulling the wagon here to Tranquility is a highly sought after job. There's like a drawing of lots to see who gets to come to Tranquility, because there's a chance they might meet the great Erling Shen.
Well, that's kind of embarrassing, isn't it?
Not for them, they met you. Woohoo!
Actually, guys, if you want to wait a few minutes, I can probably just fly to Wongwo and get the information I need. That way we can find out what the census says about what's going on in Wongwo.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
Okay. Brandon appears to be dying, but if he's not going to die, then...
I'm not dead yet.
Okay. I'll go ahead and just, as a brief aside here, I will fly to Wongwo and either talk to the warlord or talk to the warlord's magician and find out what the census of Wongwo is, if they'll tell me, and if they're keeping track of births. See how many kids are born.
Actually, it translates more or less as warlord's accountant.
Right.
That's not his actual title, but it's as close as I'm going to get it.
Scribe, basically. Yeah.
And yeah, they do a complete census once a year, as far as they're able to determine what a year is.
Right.
Which is weird. But you don't need to know that. So, he opens up books and he flips through pages and he tells you numbers. And the city has just slightly over 2,000 people in it. And there are about 25 to 30 births per year, which is lower than is expected according to the imperial charts for expected population change. And he flips to, in a different book, pages that have historical records on that, because they keep exhaustive records on everything.
Yeah.
So it's like quite a bit lower than what would be expected, which is a concern. But there's not really anything they can do about it, so...
We have people looking into it.
Yeah.
Did they find anything? No, we have not found anything.
It is what we know.
Do it.
Okay, well, that's the information I needed, so I will thank them profusely. Hang out with the warlord or the wizard for a while and just make small talk and chat, because it's the polite thing to do. And then eventually...
happy to have your company.
Okay, and then eventually take my leave and fly back to Tranquility and let them know.
There
it
you
looks
go.
like the incidence of children being born in Wongwo is slightly higher than here, but it is still well below what's expected of a town of that size from that time period in Imperial China. normal birth rate would, the birth rate for a town that size would normally be about 100 children, 100 viable births a year, and they're getting about 25. I'm making these numbers up.
It works.
So the Hag of Crag Keep is wrong. There are children being born. There just aren't a whole lot of children being born.
Okay. But is it that children are being born just enough to replace those lost?
I don't think that's really the thing. Because I mean, the population of Tranquility has been rather steadily declining ever since I got here.
This is
People are
true.
and dying of diseases a lot faster than kids are being born.
Yeah, that's true.
We haven't reached zero population growth here. We've reached negative population growth.
Okay, so that
Yeah,
is definitely a
3/4 of Tranquility has died since I got here.
Yeah, that is definitely a count against the Hag's theory.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason that I'm not sure what's causing the lower viable births, but I think the big reason that the numbers are dropping for any of these places is just because this is a really freaking dangerous place to live.
Right. But that's the thing, is people aren't getting replaced.
Yeah, it's not like there's somebody dies, somebody gets replaced. It ain't happening.
Yeah, that was the Hag's assertion, was that there weren't new people, they were just getting replaced.
Yeah, that's not the case. The number of characters in this town has very steadily dropped since they got here.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's just this town. That's just this town. I mean, are the storms bringing other towns or people? Maybe that's a replacement. As a sort of replacement.
Well, no, because they'd each be from their own story, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Let's wrap our head around her mindset and try to explain it. Not try to cancel out her mindset, but try to explain this within her mindset.
Yep.
That these are fictional entities, pieces of stories. I'm not seeing it.
Once again, I'm dealing with facts here, and
We
it does not put available facts that we have.
Yeah, no, we would
has any weight whatsoever.
Yeah, we would always have the same cast of characters if that were true. Only those invented by the author.
So what are you up to? What are you guys doing now?
Arguing philosophy in a bar, I can imagine.
Yep.
Tandy has had time to grow more of those red flowers for more rum, so she actually has a supply of rum that is drinkable.
What?
Or what she calls rum, anyway.
Yeah.
It has like a weird hibiscus tea kind of flavor to it, but it's rum.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, a little bit of zing to it.
A little bit of zing.
I'm good with that.
I'll check up on the Buddhist monks and see how they're doing too.
They're doing almost precisely the same as the last time you checked on them, because change is not important to them. Also,
now, I was gonna say, they could be fictional.
if you say so.
They seem to be stable enough that they could be fictional. Wongguo and Tranquility, not so much.
Also, and I'll point this out again in case, because it's been a while, the area that the Buddhist monks occupy, once you go into it, is fairly sizable. Probably about the size of Tranquility. But from the outside, it's the size of maybe a church plus a graveyard.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dimensional alteration. We ought to be used to it by now.
If you say so.
Why?
Maybe
I
so.
think-
I don't know if it's explicitly mentioned like just like that. That could also explain for the time violations, though.
Brandon, once I'm in the grounds of the Buddhist monastery, fly up and see what I see.
You fly up, and for a certain amount of time, you're above the Buddhist grounds, but then there's like a shift, and the Buddhist grounds are small, and then you're above the town.
Okay.
Buddhist monks.
Yay.
That's what they look like. There you go. So. There's definitely a transition between you're in the Buddhist monk area to being you're in the town area looking down at the monastery area.
Yeah,
Okay. There's a definable boundary of the place so that I cannot fly past while I'm inside the monastery.
There's a
It's
boundary. You can fly past it, but when you do,
When I do, I end up back in Tranquility.
you perceive it from Tranquility's point of view.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like when we change biomes when we're on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Kind
just
of,
want
yeah.
to test it and see how it worked. Yeah.
More or less spherical. More or less.
What if there's a way to find out what's natural to this world and what, or whatever, wherever, with this reality versus what's been brought here by
Oh, good luck with that.
whatever event?
Yeah.
We're all using a bunch of random,
Everything's been brought
so I had to say the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo. Good luck with that.
So now what?
All right, well, we've got a list of instructions on how to get to the lever that can destroy the universe. We're certainly going to need it as a bargaining chip at some point. I'm not in any way advocating actually giving it to the Hag of Crag Keep,
Mm-mm.
because I think that would fall into the category of bad rather than falling into the category of good. But it would be a good idea to get it before she sends out some other
Yep.
brainless minion to go recover it.
Mhm.
So I guess that puts that next on our list of things to do.
I mean, you know, an indefeatable weapon, it would just be really nice to have that in your back pocket, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah. I suppose we should go out after it.
Yep.
And while I'm not actually advocating this particular course of action, being the stalwart defender of righteousness and justice that I am just casually mentioning to people who might have a more flexible moral outlook than I do that the Hag of Cragkeep is pretty much defenseless if you sneak up on her and bash her in the head with a brick.
You mentioned that like every so often.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate.
Have I mentioned today that if you walk up behind her with a brick, you can brain her? Just checking.
Just checking,
It's
yeah.
Tuesday.
Just wanna
Wait,
make
what
sure
day is
you
this?
wouldn't
Tuesday?
forgotten
Is this Tuesday? Okay, Tuesday. Did you know you can come up behind the Hag of Cragkeep and bash her head in?
Get her in there.
Just letting you know.
Maybe kill her.
Erlang. You know how a kraken's different from the Hag of Crag Keep?
How's that, man?
A brick to the head does nothing to a kraken.
Good thing our main adversary isn't the Kraken then, because we'd be hosed.
Also, if you don't kill her in that first hit, there's a good chance she will turn you all into frogs.
Yeah, but if we walk up to her and say, "We shall defeat you," she'll probably turn us all into frogs anyway. I'm figuring this way at least we got a good shot at it.
See, now one of my goals is to get to the point where we can sit down and have a nice lunch with Orson. Orson's got some information I'd love to get out of him.
Crap. Which
Okay.
one's Orson again?
Hmm?
Which one's Orson again?
Orson's a vulture.
Oh, the vulture. Okay, yeah.
Seymour's the spider. You have not actually met Seymour yet.
No, I've seen him. He's horrifying.
Oh yeah, you did see him. Yeah, and he is horrifying.
Orson is the one with the power stealing ray.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, we've already killed him once, so he's. I don't consider him to be that big of a problem.
Fair enough. And to be more specific, Orson is the one who figured out how to cancel out all of your powers.
Yes.
Right.
Other than Michael, who he didn't realize had powers. I don't know. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
I still wonder if we throw Orson in there if he stops being a vulture.
I'm sure if we brought him home, he'd stop being a vulture.
So,
Yeah, that's another problem. I'm going to work out that one after I fix the time machine.
there you
No.
are.
Time machines are possible. They have to be. From what I have seen, time machines must be possible.
Fair enough. All right, so what's our next move then?
What are you doing? It's time for action. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, I guess we're
We'll find the weapon.
up the chart, charting our course.
Okay. You head
It takes us
west.
a year and a half to get back. I am going to be really, really annoyed at the Hag for sending us on this.
Wait, what?
If it's another year and a half before we're back in Tranquility, I'm going to be really annoyed at the Hag for picking all of these things that are away from the water. Send us over to talk to the pirates or something. I mean, for crying out loud.
I don't like that I'm doing this, but I would do it anyway. To the best that you understand, she's not the person picking where things are. She's finding where they are and sending you to get them.
I understand that entirely. Captain Harrows understands that entirely. Captain Harrows still says such a thing.
Fair enough. So you head west toward the Madlands, and in this case, beyond, because the Crystal City, which is what's on your map, is further west and into the Madlands than you have ever been before. So there's that.
So
Okay.
it's like extreme time.
How are we getting there? What method are we using for travel?
That's up to Captain Harrows. How you traveling? How you traversing the wilderness, Captain Harrows?
What kind of terrains are we looking at?
Well, that changes from moment to moment depending upon
I mean,
where we
yeah,
are.
the hover wagon seems to be pretty useful, but then again, so is the train on treads.
I'm
But
kind of biased, but I'd suggest flying myself.
Yep.
okay,
Say the two people who can fly.
Well, it might be 25 years until we get back.
This is
yeah,
also
okay.
So you keep him with the hover barge, the
Except-
Coanda.
Well, no, I'm gonna go full ground effect on it. Are you familiar with the Akrana plan?
I am indeed. In fact, I created the website for the American company who was trying to sell that. They were not ultimately successful.
I'm talking about the Soviet ground effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I created the website for the guys who were trying to market that, specifically that, to American companies.
Huh.
Ameristar.
Huh.
I'm not kidding at all. That was actually one of my first web design jobs.
Yeah, I'm thinking something along the like treetop level.
because from what I remember of the history of the Akrana plan, there was actually another version that was made that was intended to be a transport vehicle that they actually made more than one of. And I didn't know that there was a company that was trying to sell it in America, but I know that there were several of them that operated out of the Soviet Union back when it was still the Soviet Union.
Yeah, and the really interesting thing is that they actually got the plans that they converted into this were the spruce goose. They were taking the hues and just going like, well, yes, but we make this fuselage, we make this engine, we make wings like this, we put it together something like that. And then they realized that their wings were never going to be strong enough to be long enough. But stubby wings close to the water still provide lift. And so it's a treetop flyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find the website for it because it is long since folded. It's a bummer because it was actually pretty cool. What they were trying to pitch it as was something for remote extraction, like emergency response kind of a thing. Like somebody's trapped in the snow somewhere out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like basically like doing a Operation Credible Sport, but without the JADO units.
There you go. And it would go over any surface because it was ground effect, essentially, and could get there very, very fast because it's a plane. But because it wasn't lifting off more than a certain number of feet off the ground, it didn't fall under the FAA. So
Yeah,
I cannot. If I find a link to it later, I'll share it with you guys. But yeah, I created their website back in 1990 something.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true because it's not technically flying; it's still ground effect under like, was it 10 meters or something?
Something like that. Yeah. All right then. So what's your plan, Captain Harrows? Is to create like a ground effect plane? Is that your deal?
Yeah, basically a treetop flyer. Think of it as a battleship with stubby wings.
Well, all right then.
Oh, actually, I might be able to find a photo of this. Hold on.
Oh, something that Erlang Shen has discovered previously. Weird shit happens when you get too far off the ground.
Right.
The small version of that is lifting off from the monastery and seeing how that shifts once you get a certain height. But the further away you get from the sea, the weirder that kind of transition gets. And, you also ran into this above the Haunted Forest. Like, you rose above the Haunted Forest and then did not know where you were.
Yeah, I lost contact with the rest of the group.
Yeah. So flying above a certain altitude is disorienting, to put it mildly.
And just what is that altitude?
Well, it's not like it's consistent.
Oh, okay. Oh, of course not. Nothing around here is bloody consistent.
It's not. And there you go. Okay, so what's it look like, Captain Harris? Give me a description.
There you go.
A brief description.
How about something kind of like that?
Oh my god, that thing. I've seen it, that video.
It actually flies really well.
I'm sure it does.
It flies like it looks like it flies, though.
Yeah. To quote the pilot, it kind of flies like a battleship.
Okay.
So I built something along those lines.
So Captain Harris takes a couple of days to build a flying boat thing. So weird.
I remember watching that video too, so.
Yeah, that was a fun vid.
Finding a bunch of Ecranoplan pictures, but not anything from Wait, was it Ameristar or Aerostar? Might have been Aerostar. Aerostar. No, that's a fucking van. Never mind. I'll look for it later. Alright. It takes Captain Harris a couple of days to build this thing. And you're ready to go. And then you head west? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. You head west. You hit...
Hang on a minute. I got a better picture here for you.
Okay.
There you go.
A flying lawnmower?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't want to get into that. I got tanks. I got toilets.
Yep.
I got mailboxes.
I only remember the flying lawnmower because they were at it. The company that makes them was at an air show once that I was at.
Ugh.
I mean, you know, if you want to go into that, I mean, you know, how crazy do you want to get?
Oh yeah, I just remembered that somebody built a flying machine out of IKEA chairs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same guys that did the battleship that I just used as the image.
Cool.
I've been supporters of them for like 3-4 years now. I've actually built and flown a few of their planes.
Moving on. You fly west. You pass over the plains and jungles of the dinosaur area. At some point, you transition into the Wile E. Coyote versus Roadrunner buttes and canyons kind of area. You fly past and over an area that is dark reddish brown or brownish red sand that smells like cinnamon. Fly over that for a while and see a few vaguely Egyptian monuments or tombs as you fly by. You fly past far future planet city that has been bombed to shit, and there are ghouls roaming in packs beneath you. You fly past an area that is just kind of like fog beneath you, and above you are floating skyscrapers that you just fly underneath them as they are above you.
Oh, yes, we remember those.
John Erling flew up to look through the windows of a couple and found desk fans and coffee makers and metal desks and metal chairs and no people. So there's that. You float. What?
I said, and that's not creepy at all. No.
Well, you're the one who looked. You fly over water, and there are big bubbles, and inside the bubbles, and by big I mean the size of a city, bubbles. And inside each bubble is an actual city. Oh, I think I have a picture of that, if I can find it. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Well, you can just picture that, whatever. That's not what I was looking for either. Let's see.
At some point here, real soon, I'm going to want to go to bed because I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning.
You have indeed. I'll let you go. All right. So, you eventually get to, and this is after flying past the furthest you've flown before. And we'll wrap up to this and leave it on like a cliffhanger.
Okay.
Water beneath you that shimmers, glowing crystal things in the air and growing out of the water. And then in the distance, you see... Oh, actually, this is pretty cool. Then there's like the water is around you, and then there's like a land mass in front of you. And in the middle of the land mass is it's like a crystal spike going up to the sky. And it looks like this. I'll show you this. Why not? Because I found a picture. Why not? There you go. And then you see this.
Ooh, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
and there's a crystal spike ahead of you, like
This
kilometers
is,
and kilometers ahead of you. What?
I comment to the crew. This isn't going to be the lair of like Melvin the Ice Wizard or anything, is it?
His name was Izexar, just so you know.
Well, if Melvin the Ice Wizard was going to have a lair, I'm pretty sure it'd look a lot like that.
Yeah. And by the way, his name is Melvin now.
Yeah. I mean, if I were Melvin the Ice Wizard, that's pretty much what my lair would look like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just so that we're ready to face it. That's what it is.
Either that or like the first Superman movie, Fortress of Solitude.
I think that was
Depending on my budget, really.
The Fortress of Extraordinary Magnitude. Also on the ground are also shards of the same crystal scattered around. So
Right.
there's that big middle crystal spike going way up to the sky, and then all around it, on the landmass that you're looking at, are crystals scattered all around of varying size, from the size of a house to the size of a fingernail.
Okay.
And there you go. Yay! That's a good place to stop, right?
I think so, yeah.
Is that a good place to stop? All right.
Well, I do have a question for everyone.
What's
It's
that?
not really something that you have to answer right now. It's something you can ponder. Eventually, Brandon, I take it you're going to stop this campaign, and I can pick up something after.
Mhm.
The question is, I've got two choices, really, of what I could run. I could either continue the Trail of Cthulhu game, but if I did that, I'd want to switch to another game system, probably GURPS, 4th edition. But I've got a bunch of GURPS rule books, so that would be handy for running that system. Or I could start running my left of center multi-genre game, which I know a couple of you have played in before. I'd be starting a new campaign, and I'd probably also want to run another system, probably using GURPS again. But I just wanted you guys to think about it and come to a decision which you would prefer.
What was left of center? What was that all about?
Left of Center is a multi-genre game, a lot like this one, a lot like the one Brandon's running, in that you end up in a place which is not the place you started from, and it's essentially a place where things go that get lost and forgotten, like people and cities and like entire biomes. But it's a big patchwork pamphlet-esque kind of place, a lot like this one. The Pirates of the Mesozoic is what gave me the idea to start running that campaign again. But in the multi-genre campaign, the left of center campaign, basically you would pick a character that you would want to play from any other game. So you could play a science fiction character, you could play a fantasy character, you could play a superhero character, you could play a normal guy. The only difference is the more powerful the character is, the less equipment they start with. So if you run a normal guy, you end up with a lot of equipment. So you could be a far future soldier with a set of powered armor or something like that, or you could be a superhero wearing basically a spandex costume,
Okay.
and anything you can imagine in between.
And the first one was what?
I just started my Trail of Cthulhu game again with your same characters, and Craig, you could make up a character for it.
Yeah, we just kind of convertish it over to GURPS.
Yeah, I've got a GURPS character generator. I've got a bootleg copy of it, so I could just bootleg or just use that, generate your characters for you, and send you a copy of it.
Yeah.
What were we using before? Was it Trail of Cthulhu?
Trail of Cthulhu, it's the gumshoe system.
Oh, Gumshoe, okay.
Yeah, the only reason I don't like it is because it does not lend itself well towards expansion. The characters either don't change or they change so fast that they become ridiculously powerful.
I'll give
So
some thought.
I wanted to set up a new campaign with a system that had better expandability built into it.
I see.
So anyway, everybody give that some thought, and whatever you decide, I will start running that again, whenever this stops.
Cool.
Cool.
Anything else?
Nope, that was it. Now I'm going to
Okay.
bed
I'll give that some thought.
in my own bed. First time since Sunday.
Oh, there's nothing like sleeping in your own bed with your own sweetie and your own cats.
I haven't had the sweetie in the bed for like a month, so she's been exhausted all this time. All right, guys. So next Wednesday or Thursday or what day? Are we sure?
Hang on. I'm unclear on next week's schedule because Craig cannot make Tuesday, but Donald cannot make Wednesday. So what I was going to do is see if Leslie. If Leslie can make one of those days, essentially Leslie is the tiebreaker.
Fair enough.
So,
I can make.
Hmm?
I said I can make either.
Same here.
All right. So I will put the entire weight on next week's schedule on Leslie and see what she says.
Oh dear.
If Leslie can't make anything, then we'll just do Tuesday. Is that fine?
Yeah, it's good with me.
All
Okay.
right, fine.
Yeah.
And whatever happens. Okay.
Yeah, I can do both days.
I'm not sure I could do both days. All right, you guys, here we go. Wait. There we go. This has been Pirates of the Mesozoic. This is Craig Smith, Donald Von Griffin, Dan Torres, still knitting, Lloyd Montgomery, and me, Jim Brandon Luckmore, and Leslie, who we hope will join us again soon. Even the most obnoxious prat can have a moment when he realizes that he's made terrible mistakes. So always be willing to forgive. Everybody have a good night. Talk to you later.
See everybody next week.